Okay, good afternoon all. Hey, how you doing, buddy? 1st of December. Ooh, it's going quick now. Christmas just over 3 weeks away. Unbelievable how quick it's gone really this year. It seems to have flown by. Ionis, how you doing? Okay, I'm just looking at the 10,000 tick chart actually over the last few days. And we're clearly just ranging, aren't we? Let's just open this up a little bit. We're clearly sideways there. We're clearly working between sort of this area and mainly this. We've had a breakout there, came all the way back down to the bottom. We've had a breakout there. So I think there's a good chance that we're going to work down here. So I think that's a good possibility. You got a leg down, better sideways, another leg down. So if I look on the 2000 tick chart, it's giving me the same sort of impression. We've got a leg down, a bit of sideways, so I wouldn't be surprised if we had another leg down. It would certainly match up to the 10,000 tick chart. Harminder, how you doing? Exponential, how you doing, bud? So, yeah, leg down, a little bit of sideways. Now we have got some news. We have got some coming up at just over 30 minutes UK time. And then we got Powell speaking at 4 o'clock and we'll be done by 7 anyway. But it's unusual to have him at twice throughout the day at 4 and 7. It's usually either 7 or 3, but to have him twice, that's a bit unusual, isn't it? I'm not sure why. But there you go. So, I've got my little Christmas thingy up here. There it is there. I might put that on a couple of times this week. And then if I win a trade, I'll stick that one on. So there you go. So fingers crossed. It's cold in the UK today. I think it's -5 where we were. Absolutely flipping freezing this morning. To go out and defrost 2 cars, nothing worse than that. That's what I love about this job. No going out in the freezing flipping cold. Okay, market is just opened. So we do seem to have, I don't know, it's working down here, but we'll see. Let's see how we get on here. So leg up, we're going to break of this if we are in a downtrend. Might be better off to put that there anyway. ERP, how you doing, bud? How you doing? We do see, yeah, it's something like that, isn't it? I'll have to see about that. Loafy, how you doing, buddy? Okay, if we can get a break up there in a lower high here, I think that might be worth it. We do seem to be coming down at the moment. Okay, so we may get up here. Actually, do you know what? So I was going to move that then. Michael, how you doing, buddy? Let's have a look at this. We've got a leg up, a break. Let's see if we push up. We're going a bit sideways at the moment, so it's hard to say really. If we do push up, I'm going to get rid of this channel. But at the moment, it depends how you got this channel. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible. Okay, so there's first entry. If we can get a bullish bar here and then maybe trap it above, you have a range on your chart. Yeah, I've had a bit of both. It's hard to say. It does look like we are coming down. Let's put that back, maybe just from there. We've had 2 legs up. leg. I was hoping for a lower high. A failure here, but I do think there's a good chance of a couple of legs. Just going by what the 10,000 tick chart's telling me over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. We're just in a range, really. We're touching at the tops really nice here. Every time we break out there, we've come right back to the bottom when we're here. So I think there's a good chance. If you look at this, we've got a leg down. I think there's a good chance we're going to have another leg down there. So I'm thinking, excuse me, short at the moment. So we'll just have to have a look at that. Let's see what happens here. I don't think we're ranging at the moment. We had a little bit of a range to start. We had a quick push up, then we had a drop, and we've had 2 legs back up, and we do seem to be still working down at the moment. Update and you on about with Apex? I've obviously had a couple of it's popped up a couple of times, but usually I wait for Apex to tell me to update it, because obviously it's got to work alongside Rhythmic for a start. So and obviously we got other bits of software involved in here as well, so I like to sort of wait for them to give me something. So I'll have to say there. So this is looking bearish at the minute. Straighten that out a bit. Leg down, 2 legs of correction. We'll see. Okay, a leg and a leg. See if we can get back up here, get something bearish, maybe interesting lower high. Then I tend to not take these unless they're absolutely obvious. Bearing in mind we got some news coming up in about 25 minutes. What was that again? Oh yeah, okay. I'm staying up late tonight. Good on you, mate. How you doing? And what's it like down under? I don't know what weather you've got. It's absolutely flipping freezing here in the UK. We had -5 this morning, where I am anyway. But I know up parts of Scotland, Sam will tell you, I think they've had down as low as -15. I haven't been here much since the time. Oh, right, yeah. Okay, 1 leg up, 2nd leg up. Let's see. It's a bit congested here at the moment, so you've got to be a little bit careful. So I'm just sitting and watching at the minute. It sort of is congested, but we've got a leg up, and it's working down a bit, and another leg up. So hopefully this closes here. Come down. Okay. Obviously there is still the possibility that we are going sideways. At the moment, touch. There does seem to be a slight downwards, but obviously, depending on what happens here, we may adjust. Yeah, it's only really sort of touching twice, isn't it? Let's remove it just for a minute and have a look. We got a couple of touches here, plus one here, two there. So, yeah, I think you're right. That's a better call. I would say that is probably a safer bet there, just at the moment. That's not much happening. Yeah, maybe. I suppose it depends what they expect on the news. Obviously, these institutional traders have a good idea than most, I suppose, what they're likely to expect. I mean, sometimes the market doesn't seem to make a difference until we get the news. Other time, it seems to stick in one area, but I suppose it depends what's expected. You know, if for instance, the Fed have indicated that they, there's a possibility that there's going to be a rate hike or something. I tend, something a little bit like that, but I think at the moment, from what we gather at the moment, I think they've indicated, or it's pretty much assumed, there's going to be no rate hikes for the foreseeable future, but I think they're on about dropping rates slowly. So I think everything feels quite comfortable and stable. So, but you just never quite know what's going to happen with this. Sometimes it'll go sideways right the way up. Other times it won't seem to make a difference. The talk now is rate cuts in May. Yeah, I'd heard that there was less likelihood now of any rate increases, or however they would if the need arises, but it would be more likely, in the after the first quarter or whatever, that there was going to be rate cuts, which is starting to sound like better news, isn't it? And it's certainly given a little bit more confident. But you never quite know how it's going to affect this, really. Well, certainly leading up to it, sometimes it will just go sideways. Other times it didn't seem to make a damn bit of difference. So it's hard to say, okay, we got a leg up and a leg up. But that does seem like a channel to me. 100%. Yeah, so we've just had a break, really, and two legs down to a new low. I'm not even convinced about this as a range, in all fairness. This just looks like two legs to me. So we got one leg down there and a second leg down there. So let's get rid of that, I think, at the moment. Yeah, so we got a leg down up to the EMA. Unfortunately, not really very good signal bar. And then two legs down, bounce, and this looks like reversing. So I'm not really bothered about that, a bit of sideways there. I don't think there is really. If you look at the tops, it's lower, it's lower, it's lower. It is more like a downtrend at the moment, but for me, rather than a downtrend, it's just a break, two pushes down to a new low. So this looks like we're going back up. So I'm certainly not expecting that to come back into any type of range. May break, but this is really overnight lows, isn't it? It's hitting now, so we may get a break here. But I do think, see, from what I can see on the 10,000 tick chart, just over the last bunch of days, 1, 2, 3, 4, over the last 4 days, you can see really where it's in this level here, and here again. We had a little breakout. So last time we did that, we had a pullback, and we had a really good pullback to test. So we could come back up, test this underside. So last time we had a break, we came back and tested it, and then tested it again before we dropped. So it could come back up, or it could just drop. It's hard to say, but we definitely had a bigger range really over the last bunch of days. So, but yeah, that's not a range to me, really. We're only really touching in one place, and then we're getting lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. So, yeah, we got power. It's unusual to have him speaking at two separate points throughout the day, like 3 hours apart. It's unusual. I can't remember. Doesn't usually do that. But I would certainly say, as we're in December, really, the public want stable news, really, now. I think it's good practice, isn't it, to keep things nice and positive and stable. Obviously, Christmas is a time where people go out and spend. And if the economy's looking like we're on an upward trajectory, people tend to go out and spend. And obviously that stimulates the economy in itself. And obviously Christmas time usually, as a rule, is probably one of the biggest area of spendings throughout the whole year, really. Even more than maybe the holiday season. Well, what I mean is holidays, some holidays, that type of stuff. But so, I'll see. So we've got a channel and we've got a break. Now, there is, I think, really, you would consider that as probably the overnight lows, wouldn't you? Which we seem to be finding some support there. So, yeah, we're certainly having a break. I thought we may do, but whether we go up or come down, it's hard to say, really. We could come back up. We could continue up. We could continue down. It's a bit 50-50 here. Okay, break new high, so that's technically played out now. Is there going to be any type of a larger trend channel? Who knows? I know we seem to be speeding things on in the UK. I thought our interest rate was it down to 4.6%? Our last report was, which is pretty good. Well, obviously, we come down from double figures because things were ridiculous. I mean, we were paying £2. It wasn't that long ago. We were paying £2 a litre of diesel. That's about $2.50 a litre. That's a huge amount. People who travel to work, it must be stinging the hell out of them. Everything's gone up, really. Food's gone up. In a lot of cases, it's doubled. So, I mean, I feel sorry for the, sort of young families. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It's the time of year we're having parcel after parcel delivered now. Dogs are barking like crazy. Okay, so... Okay, are we continuing on? If we have a leg up like that, I like 2 legs of corrections before I'm comfortable with carrying on, and we haven't really. We've just had a break in a new high, so whether we're going to have a continuation or come back down is hard to say, but we're definitely coming into contact with the open. Okay, this is interesting. What's going on here? So break new high. Are we going to have a second entry? Are we going to continue up? Who knows? Just bearing in mind that news is at about 11 and a half minutes. So I wouldn't be shocked if we get a bit of sideways here. Market seems to have just gone a bit slow here, so I wouldn't be shocked if we get some sideways here. Gold is pumping, is it really? Hopefully cryptos are. I've made a few quid on my cryptos over the last month and a half. What's cryptos doing now? Let's have a look. I think Bitcoin was all-time highs. Highs for the last, what was it? 38,000, just under 38,300. I think this is the highest it's been since earlier in the year, I think. So if we can get above this, we may get another good push. Made a few quid on Solana. I bought Solana, I think at around about $20. Did I buy some at $19 and some at $20? Something like that. It's up to $60 now. I got some Cardano. I think a bit of Matic. Some H-bar. And a couple of others, I think. Yeah, I messed up a bit last year. I didn't know enough about crypto. I didn't understand, about sort of market cycles and bear markets and all that. Not seen Bitcoin this now. We haven't, have we? So I heard someone say sometimes we get a Christmas rally, but if we do have rate cuts in May, that should add to the sort of market. But I think they talk about it sort of going up over the next 12 to 18 months and maybe peaking in 2000. I don't quite understand how they can be so accurate about it, but they do. There's obviously cycles. It almost seems like easy money in a strange way. They talk about the bull market and the bull cycle and the bear. It almost seems like easy money. Obviously, you've got to put into the right things and diversify a little bit just in case. Because, as we know, some cryptos, they do and a lot of people had a lot of money in that absolutely tanked, didn't it? I had a lot of money in, what was it that went? I can't remember what it was now. They've got a version 2 of it, haven't they? I always think that's dangerous. I forget what it was now, but that went. People lost huge amounts of money. Okay, so I can see this pushing up now. Let's have a look. It almost looks like two legs back there. So we've got a leg up there, one leg, two leg. That's interesting. Triple test. Yeah, I'm just staying out of it at the moment. It's too close to the news for me. News in about 17 minutes. Last thing I want to do is get stuck in this. I forget what it was that went now. Was it Luna? I think it was Luna. One guy lost $500,000, I think. Christ almighty. Yeah. Yeah, news is coming up. To be honest with you, even though I put this there, sometimes I'm that focused on the chart, I just forget. You should widen your channel. Oh, this thing here, you mean? If we push up, I probably will do. Are you on about from there? Not quite at the moment, isn't it? It may do. Yeah, it's possible, isn't it? I tend to wait. If it starts to push up, then I'll see if it fits. First two, it doesn't fit there at the moment, does it? It's down there at the moment, see, so I want to see where it bounces, really. But yeah, I agree, it's probably something like that. Okay, so there's a higher low there. Still too risky going into there. Having said that, I would guess that I would expect it to push out the top more than not. Because we've had a break and we've definitely had a few pushes down, 1, 2. If we can get above there, there's going to be some stops there for sure. We're only a couple of ticks away, and I can see that getting up a bit higher. It does look like it, doesn't it? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there'd have been some shorts there. There'd have been some there. There'd have been some there for sure. This is looking nice and positive. If we get above this, I can see that having another leg up. But obviously, we got the news, so that may have interested me. But we're going into support, so although I think it's going up, it's not really something I can get involved in at the moment, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a bit too far for me, that one. I'm just going to go from this one for now, because it's a leg up sideways and then up some more. So let's put that like that just for now. See what happens. If it does continue to go sideways, then I will extend it. Let's have a look. Touch. I'd say there's going to be some shorts there. If that ended up bullish, that's the type of trade I wouldn't mind taking, but obviously we've got the news coming up in about 4 minutes. But it does look like sideways and a bigger channel, doesn't it? We've touched it there. But unfortunately the news is there, so we've got to touch. And it is a failed second entry short trapping, because after this, see, I would say there's going to be there'll definitely be some traders that have got that as a range and expecting this to come back in, but it's not a range, not in my opinion. We've only really touched it once, and we're coming down, so I'm guessing there's probably going to be some shorts trapped there. Well, there'd have been some probably taking the lower high, certainly that one, and probably that one as well, and maybe here. So we'll see if we can get above this. Then I think it'll have a good old push. Unfortunately, we got the news, so we can't really get involved there. So unfortunately. Now there's a lower high there. Maybe that channel is a bit wider. Let's see if that fits it. Still not quite. Let's just put it there for now. Unfortunately, the news is coming up. That's bloody frustrating to shit, because that to me is going to rock it up. There's going to be some shorts trapped there. Some definitely shorts trapped there. So if that manages to get above there and then there, we should have quite a strong push. It is frustrating. It's sometimes you never know, it may not, but really, if I was going to take an order, it would be one tick above there, in all fairness. So in other words, I'd be taking the failure, but I'd just be coming in a bit late, because if it does break above there, but unfortunately we got the news, so you just don't know what's going to happen. But if it does break above there, I would expect that to push up then, because it looks like a leg, some sideways, and we're clearly working up here, aren't we? There's a failure there, and there's a higher low if that's not good enough for you. But I'd definitely be taking it one above there, but obviously we got the news, so... fell second entry short, second entry long. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a bunch of... there's a second entry long there, there's a failure there, higher low there off this. Everything's indicating, but obviously the news could change things. But I would be going along one tick above there. I wouldn't just take that. I'd like the extra tick just to be safe. Because if it does hit that and come down, you're screwed. If it hits that stop, that surely is going to give it enough momentum. There you go, see? Is that going to stop that out? That's weird, that is. That's why I'd have put my order one tick above there. You just get that extra protection. It's going to stop that long out. Let's have a look. Yeah, see what I mean about that? That's why... I always, if I'd have got in there, it'd trigger me and stop me out. If I'd have waited to get above there, that would have been a better option. I always take that extra tick if I can, just to give me that extra bit of security. And then if it hits that, then there's definitely going to be some momentum, and there's be some more stops there. But look at that. How frustrating is that? People think, oh, I mean, in ordinarily, look at that. It looks beautiful, that. Now, I always wait. Out of experience, I wait because sometimes it'll trigger and come down, but then if it pushes up, okay, the news is, wow, well, that's good and positive. How frustrating is that? It triggers you, stops you out, and then shoots up about 8 points, 6 points. That's bloody frustrating, that is. I hope none of you guys got in on there. I get how tempting it was. In all fairness, if you'd have taken the failure, you'd have been laughing because you'd have been safe there. You'd have been out in a second as soon as that pushed up. Yeah, so that's relatively positive. But in all fairness, it looks like we're getting it all back. So, so quite positive news. So I think it's fair we could just continue on up. We'll see. Yeah, so we started here and we're finished now. Look, we're back to where we were. So, and now taking out some stops. There'll be some stops there, some there. There we go again. Back into this channel. So there's a break. Are we going to get a new high? So what I can see on this 10,000 tick chart, I said there, we may come back and retest this high, and we've literally shot straight up, hit it, and then dropped. See how weird is that? How weird is that? So we're going sideways there. I'd expect that to come down, but I did say there's a possibility we could retest this before we go lower. We did there, and then came down, and there again before we eventually came. So that's interesting. So, okay, so we actually made a new high. So we had a break and then made a new high. So I feel sorry for people who got into that trade. Ordinarily, that would be a good trade. I'd have got in here. My stop would have been here. So if I'd have got in there, we come back a bit and then I'd have got my points. But obviously, unfortunately, we got the news, which is frustrating. It's so annoying, that. So let's just see if this fits now. It may do, actually. So look at that strong move. Wow. So we came back here, we got up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 points. So this now is just really, if we broke above there, here we have. Yes, on the 10,000 tick chart a few days ago, we broke out the top. We came back in and we pushed out again before we came down. So Let's see what happens here. So we broke out there, we came and we pushed out again. Not as high as the last time, same there. So I think it'll come straight back down. Okay, so one down, one to go. That's going to affect us anyway. There is some news a bit later than that. But so 4 o'clock, so we got an hour, just under an hour. So overshoot, pull back. Are we going to push and bounce and come down or what? Or are we just going to drop here and then come back down? I think overshoot. Well, I was going to say I think we're coming back down now. Yeah, it's a shame if anybody got in there. A real shame. Just to be stopped out by a tick and then it to do that. That's frustrating. Okay, so overshoot. Attempt to go higher. So I'd say, now I'm looking at that 10,000 tick chart, I'd say it's coming back in. Maybe down, so that'd be interesting to keep an eye on that. I'd expect that to come down. Okay, there's a failure there, which is triggered. Only slight concern is there may be a bigger channel here. I don't know whether there is or not. Not sure about that. Yeah, so if you took that failure there, I think you're probably going to get stopped out. It's just too close to these bottoms, depending on what's going on exactly, but it does look like a channel and it's right at the bottom there. Okay, excuse me, just for 1 minute. Okay, right. There is a lower high there, but it's into the EMA, but I'd say that's probably coming down. Not a fan of that. Yeah, it's certainly coming out for 2 points, I think, isn't it? Right. Not even close. Point and a quarter they got there. It's just sat on the EMA. The EMA is flat. It does look like it's going to be a sideways in the overshoot. There is a possibility of something bigger there. I'm not so sure though. Shall see. Short after retest to the highs. Yeah, it's. I mean, EMA is perfectly flat at the moment, so there's a few options here, isn't there? There is a possibility of something maybe bigger there. I'm not so sure at the moment because we've had a couple of legs up. So we've had a leg up there and a leg up there, however you want to do it. Not the clearest, is it? But, so touch, touch, touch. There is a possibility of something bigger, but at the moment, I think rather than anything, it's just sideways. If it starts to creep up that line, then. But for me, I'm just unsure about going long here because we've been up, we try to go up again, we try to go up again, we try to go up again, and we are slowly working down, but we're working sideways. So I got sort of mixed feelings about this. I don't think that is, in all fairness. Let's just keep that there for now. Because that is quite a strong overshoot, if indeed that's what it is. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put that back there a minute. Just to there for now. Where do we have it there, wasn't it? Just not a fan of the minute. Okay, so we had an overshoot of something there, and we made multiple chances to go higher, and then it's dropped. let's just keep this in our eyesight. Another 25 minutes. Pal's speaking, isn't he? So it might spike around a bit. You really notice you get a bit stiff sat at, I think I need to do a little bit of exercise just to warm myself up a bit. There we go. Just work them hips a bit, stretch the arms at the back a little bit. There you go, much better, much better. I feel a bit loose now, loosey-goosey. That's not me, by the way, Kev. I'm not as rounded as that. Feel the wind. Feel the flow. You do get stiff sat here, don't you? You need to unwind a bit. Okay, we're coming down now. Okay, so there's a couple of hits there. So I'm quite happy that this is just down, up, and you know, there's sort of a couple of legs. There was a couple of legs there, so I think it's fair. There's a good chance I think we're going to come down again. Maybe around here, we'll see. Let's just put that like that, shall we now? 2 trousers on. Yeah, it's cold here, to be fair, mate. I think it's about, what is it, outside? It's got 2 degrees centigrade outside, which is a couple above freezing. Nothing worse than de-icing cars. I flipping hate it, I gotta say. My wife usually gets me to come out and de-ice hers, and I just end up chucking hot water on it. Well, warmish water on it, but nothing worse, is there? I do this job for a reason, so I don't have to go out. So, so yeah, leg down. So if we can get a bit of a break, maybe an opportunity there, but there is a little bit of congestion there, which we may go a bit sideways. In fact, we may even get a break here. So what I will say is this market so far doesn't look that bad. We're getting some movement. It's moving, isn't it? We're not getting too much. There's a bit of chop, but you know, we're getting a push there, a push there, a push there. We're getting, I mean, compared to yesterday, all that was just shit, wasn't it? You know, we know it was coming down a bit, but it's just horrible, that was. Excuse me. Then we had a rally at the end of the day, but nice to see a break here. But however you add that, there was probably some sort of a channel up there. I think I was more inclined to put it there early, and then we had a break, or however you want to do it, an overshoot. But I think there was probably an overshoot. I mean, if you have it here, it's whatever. It looked like it was an overshoot, and obviously then we had a couple of attempts to go higher, and then we dropped quickly. So I'm just going to get rid of that for now and just. So, a couple of legs up would be nice. Close below that midline. Got in that second entry short and didn't get stopped out. Taking out 2 points. Good on you, mate. That one there, did you go for? Which second entry short? One of those. Oh, was it that one there? That one. Oh, yeah, it got close, that, didn't it? Okay, let's see if we get 2 decent legs here. I can't remember the last time we had a break with a couple of decent legs. It just tended to just either push up or break and come straight down without even getting hit. Yeah, I left that because the EMA was flat and it closed on it. And it was just a bit choppy. Yeah. Trouble is, you just don't know, do you? If you'd have held down here, it may come down. It may have gone stop you out. That's the trouble, really. It is frustrating, but you just never know. If you know, I always find the time you decide to hold, you end up getting stopped out. And when you do nothing, the thing drops like a bloody stone. Okay, leg up. So far, so good. Now let's get a push up. Come on. Come on, push up to here and then close below that EMA. That would be wonderful. Pretty sure it would. Go to 69, you reckon? Where are we now? Yeah. Come on, push up. Yeah, you just never quite know, can you? Okay, so that's looking nicely. Go on, get a bit higher. That
Order
I like.
submitted.
That I like. Now come down and close below that midline. Don't go up. Come on, you're not supposed to. Get down. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You tosser. Excuse my French. That would have been lovely there. Nice little channel. 2 legs up. That's so frustrating, that is. Leg down. Nice break. And then down here would have been nice, that. I was just hoping that was going to... If that closed just below that midline, that would be lovely. Leg. It just doesn't seem to... We don't seem to get nice setups. Going back 12, 18 months, we get 2 lovely legs, a lovely big bearish bar, followed by a lower high, and it would just drop. It's as if they've changed something, isn't it? And they've made it a lot harder. Let's see if we can at least get a lower high. Okay, so there is an inside bar there. Nothing better than that. I'll probably still come down. It did the same again, didn't it? There, 2 lovely legs up and just not a nice bar, but it came down. I would have taken that. See what I mean? Just it. Let's see if it gives us a lower high. Good thing about having a lower high, try to go one strike twice. If you get a bullish bar there and it triggers, that might trigger some longs and then we can get down. It doesn't seem to give us many setups anymore. What I would call, sort of typical classic sort of, second entries. You done, are you? Good on you, mate. Good on you. Come on, push up for God's sake. Give us a lower high. So, possible failure. Well, there's nothing being wrong with aggressive as long as you can, deal with the psychological side. That's where I struggle. But I absolutely get taking aggressive ones because at the end of the day, if you're taking, say, 1 for 1 or 2 points and you're getting 7 right out of 10, you wouldn't necessarily class them as a high probability trade. But if you're going sheerly by the numbers, they should still make you money. If you're taking 70% win rates and you're going for, I don't know, 2 points or 1 to 1, it's still profitable. Obviously, it's just a slightly different way of trading. I'm just a bit too much of a coward for that, to be honest with you. But later on down the line, if I've been trading this for 2 years and making money, you're obviously a consistent trader, and you can obviously do it. So then, maybe play the numbers game or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. So leg down. 1 attempt to go higher. 2nd attempt to go higher. I'm not considering that a break yet, see, so that's 1 leg down. 1 attempt to go higher. If we can get a 2nd attempt to go higher, I may consider that as a penguin, but that's just too congested for me to go short there. I'm just going to get rid of that for a minute. So we've got a leg down, 1 attempt to go higher. Come on, get up here, you bugger. Good thing about that, possible second entry long, trap some shorts, and then dump them on their asses in the nice possible way. I started trading them 1 minute and doing much better. I certainly think it's good in looking into something like that. You know, if you're not doing nothing one day, you know, when you finish trading, there's no reason why you can't jump on another chart and just monitor it, watch it. You know, play around with it on a sim, see what happens. But didn't somebody say yesterday that they were told the ES is particularly hard to trade? I'm sure someone said it. So we are getting some hits there. Oh, okay, that's broke lower. You stop trading the ES. I may put a post on the Facebook group and just see whether people. Oh, look at that. That's frustrating, isn't it? See whether people have trading, man. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that was going to do that. There was no setup there, unfortunately. Leg down, one push up. If we got another push up there, I was hoping there may be something bullish there. If we get another push up and then drop, I'd consider that a penguin trade. 170 guys, 77, but it didn't. It just went a bit sideways and dropped. You're an old man now, are you? I suppose they all trade sort of similar to each other, but I suppose some might just play a bit better. Okay, so yeah, there's nothing there really. It's just congested and then it just dropped. I was hoping it would push up a bit. Is it really? Okay, so we're doing what I expected. Leg. Unfortunately, it just didn't give us an option, but it is frustrating when it doesn't give you an option and it drops. That's frustrating. Now let's get rid of that.
Order cancelled.
Okay, when's that news? Oh, we got 30 minutes yet. Leg. So down there at least, depending on whether you've gone from here or a bit higher. You may go from there, sort of leg. 2 legs are, yeah, just see the main. After that, there was 2 nice legs of correction. Unfortunately, this signal bar was a bit of a, well, the signal bar was naff. The next bar to that was an inside bar, and then nothing really. Then we went down, and then we just had some congestion there, and then dropped again, which is frustrating. Same again. Look at that. Sideways, didn't even get close to this and then just dropped. It's frustrating. That is two lovely legs up there, but just that bar was just sort of nothing really. If it was slightly bullish, if anything, and then we had an inside bar and then it dropped. A load of sideways, just can't trade that, and then it dropped two legs. Nothing to trade there. You can't trade any of that. Not with Pats anyway. And then another quick drop. It is frustrating when you see this. I'll have to have a look at oil. In fact, I might have a look at oil on the sim after I've finished this, or just have a little look. Was it oil futures you're trading, is it? I think it'd have to be in the US, wouldn't it? You guys have got that, is it pattern day trading rule, is it? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that one there, is it? There's no reason why you can't trade two charts, is there? 500 tick. Oh, right, yeah, okay. I'll take a photo. I'll have a look after. So 500 tick. And CL. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Strong push up. Bearish bar. Just can't trade that. You never know. It's too close to the lows really to think that is going to bounce off. We haven't hit the bottoms and we haven't hit this measured move, so I think there's more chance of doing that. But it's only a first entry. leg. Okay, we got a leg down. Maybe we're just going to have a couple of attempts to go higher and then down to the lows. We'll see. Okay, so pushing up close to that open. So one leg up. Let's come down and have another leg up. In fact, you could even take that up there. Okay, let's have a couple of legs this time. So, just looks like it's going from top to bottom to top to bottom. We had a leg, 2 legs up, leg, leg, hopefully 2 legs down. Unfortunately, signal bar was just a bit naff. I don't know whether there's something bigger there. I don't think so. It just looks like 2 legs, 1 leg up, hopefully. Now you get a higher low here or something. Come on, get a higher low. And the leg up. Market's not playing by the rules. Come on, push up, push, 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 push. No. I think it's likely we've already had a break and a new high, so come on, push up for daddy. Okay, trap some shorts. Push up. Come on, get up, you bastard. Come on, give us a bit of luck.
Order submitted.
High, low, leg up, push down, push above the EMA. Come on, trap some shorts, push up. Come on. High, low. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Taking this long, yeah. I'm waiting for a high low. If we can get a high low there, I'm quite happy taking that. I like this type of trade. Come on. No, no, no. Come back, come back, come back, come back. Gotta get a higher low. I think it's too late now. Or at least another leg down.
Order cancelled.
Come down a bit further and then push off. Come down. Okay, so that news is pending, so there is a slight possibility. Could just go a bit sideways here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to wait 5 minutes, and then I'm going to just take a 5-minute break, then go make a quick cup of tea leading up to this news. Sure, we're going up for sure. But obviously we got this news, you just don't know, do you? It is frustrating because the last bloody news we ended up having a possible trade as well, didn't we? Okay, so maybe something like that. Maybe. Who knows? I think that's quite likely, isn't it? Touch, touch, touch. Someone thinks so. So, yeah, you're out of that now, Laufey, are you? Wherever you went, wherever you got in, or are you? Maybe not yet. Okay, folks, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. Just leading up to the news. We've got the news coming up in just under 10 minutes. So I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, make a cup of tea, and I will be back. Okay, news. Excellent. Okay. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. Okay. So we're still in this at the moment. So up, down, up, down, up. Up, break new high. So let's just put that like that for now. Hey, Sam, how you doing, bud? You know what? What I will say is we got a channel down there. Got a one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. This is looking like a penguin trade to me. He's talking, is he, at the moment? That's a penguin trade, that is. So I'd say that's coming down. I did look at that, but penguin normally takes them at the EMA.
Order submitted. Order cancelled. Order submitted.
You're looking to go up. I think we're coming down. We've got this channel down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, failure, push strongly through the EMA. Leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. That's what I'm seeing anyway. Well, this is this has obviously got other plans. You might be right, mate. Wow.
Order cancelled.
Have a look. Oh, there's a bigger channel here. See, there is a possibility of a bigger channel there. We've had a break and a new high. Let me see. Let me have a look. So we've got a channel down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go. When that pushed strongly through the EMA, I thought that was coming down. That looked very much like a penguin style trade. Channel down, 1, 2 attempts to go higher, strongly push through the EMA. I was quite surprised. I thought that was going to tick there and then come down for the leg. It just goes to show, doesn't it? In fact, let me switch on to his channel, see if anybody's took that. Not as yet. I was quite surprised there. I thought that was coming down for short. It does look like a penguin, so we've got a leg down there. First attempt to go higher. We didn't break the lows. Second attempt to go higher. Push strongly through the EMA. Yeah, penguin talk about that all the time. What he'll probably usually do is get it something like that on a limit order and out for the lows, but then it's turned, so it just goes to show, doesn't it? When that pushed down strongly, I thought for sure then we've got those two attempts higher. So, let's get rid of that now. Touch, touch, touch. I mean, we've come off pretty much the bottoms there. We've pushed up. We've had 2 legs back, tried to retest it again, haven't pushed up strongly. So I think there's a fair chance we're going to reach these highs. Nice to get a couple of legs back. There is a failure there, but it's just too far from the EMA. New low there, try go low 1, try go twice, failure, push that bit. It's too far from the EMA. I'll be surprised if that doesn't get stopped out. Hopefully it will. And then we can get a couple of legs down, retest this, and for a little push higher. So 2 legs of correction and another leg. Come off the lows here, a couple of legs up. We've come down and tried to retest it again, and it's rejected, strongly pushed up. 2 legs back, another strong push up. So that fairly just might work. You see that move up, down between. I didn't break either sign here. So I would say this is where we're going to come to minimum. Yeah, so it kind of didn't look a bad trade, that really, but obviously at the time, leg up, 2 legs of correction. I always never take that one. I always wait for the high low just in case, and I want the high low above there. And it didn't really, it just rocketed up. So okay, so that measured move's comfortably played out. Now what are we going to do? I'm hoping we come down now we've made this measured move. I'm not picking this top though, I'm crap at them. If I stay away from picking tops and bottoms, I'll last a lot longer. When I do nothing, they rocket down, but it is what it is. Okay, so is he still talking? Anybody know? Yeah, so I don't pick tops. Someone gave him a sneaker. A sneaker. So we stopped. It is frustrating though, isn't it, really? We get up to the highs. That measured moves constantly, perfectly played out, and then we get a bearish bar, triggers, stops out, and then drops. It's frustrating. It was like a 10-minute intro first. All right. You can watch him on YouTube, can't you? I think. Plus, I think what's it channels on YouTube? Is it Bloomberg? I think that's on YouTube. Okay, new eye of the day. Right, let's see what happens. Bearish bar. Let's see. See what happens now. Whoa. That's tempting. It sort of looks like, not by the count, but 2 legs pushed off really strongly, that has. I'm staying out of it, though. I mean, that's a strong buy, obviously, there, isn't it? You can clearly see. Excuse me, I'll be surprised if that doesn't at least hit that top line. Beautiful touches there. Same again. Touch, touch. Beautiful there. You've really got to wait for a higher low, though, and do you want to go long after this break? Okay, lower high there. That's trapped. Now, we've only touched this once before, really, so I'm so tempted to take this.
Order submitted. Order cancelled.
It's all right. As you say, ranging, but really, the bottoms are getting higher and higher. The tops are getting higher. We've come up to this area once. Doesn't necessarily mean this is the top of anything. In all fairness, you could say that's like that. That's where I initially had it. It is working off that line, but it's looking a little dicey. I don't like that. I think that's a bit risky. Is that one going to be safe? No, it's risky as hell. This is. It's got a drop. That to me looks like a leg down. 2 attempts to go higher. That's going to drop to me, I think. Leg down. 2 attempts to go higher. That's coming down for me. And if it gets there, that's where it'll drop, I think. Because there's definitely been some buyers there. You can clearly see that's working on that line. So push below there, that'll drop then. It's unfortunate. If there was a bearish bar there, I might have had a go at that, because that would have been a leg. 2 attempts to go higher, failure. Come down. There'd have been some stops there for sure. You can clearly see there's traders which have bought off that line, but then it's triggered them and stopped them out. So 2 legs of correction, maybe a push up, who knows. Shame about that. If that had been bearish, I'd have jumped all over that. Yeah, someone's took that one as a failure. It's not a good failure, I don't think, because as much as I'm pretty sure I know what's going on. You can clearly see it's holding amongst on the EMA, so it does make it a bit more risky. So there's always a possibility. So I think if you're going to take that trade, it would be 1 tick below there, which would make your risk about 3.25 points. So leg. This is coming down, I think. It's just too far away from the top for me to go short there. It's a recount there anyway. So if you'd put it 1 tick below there, you'd have certainly got 2 points. There's your 2 points. It's only 1 leg down, and as soon as that's trapped, so although it does look like a channel, I think the more importantly it's a range, so we've pushed above there, so you'd expect that to come back. It may have a go and another push up, because there are going to be some traders. I mean, at the end of the day, this channel we're touched once, twice, 3 times, 4. It's fitting really nice. Touch is lovely at the top, so we could still try and push up. But I think ultimately it's more of a range than it is a channel. But there's going to be traders going along there, so if we can get a couple of pushes up, I might short there, because in the past I'd have gone long there, and I got trapped many times, so I tend to not do that now. So it'd be nice to push up and trap some longs. So, new high count after that. Try to go once, try to go twice. Let's see what happens here. There's going to be traders going along there, no two ways about it. Come back, lower high would be nice there to go short. I mean, there's always a possibility it could push up. But we've got a leg down. I'd like to see come down a bit and have another go. No, drop. Come on. Okay, break new high. Leg at leg. Bearish bar. Excuse me, another attempt to go higher, and then failure. Mm. Wow. Well, I'm surprised. I didn't expect that. I thought 2 legs out of this, pushed up my new high, strongly came down. I thought I was just going to retest this and then dip again, but market has other ideas. Yeah, I'm not really sure of that. I'm not a fan of that. Let's just leave it for now. Does look like there's something there, doesn't it? Excuse me. Max got his like that. He's got that there. He's got like that. He's finished here. So there is a. It's pulled down, retested that, and possibly trapped that, but that's pushing up now, so it could take the short or the long out, or both. I think the way it's looking, it's more likely to take out that short. Yeah. Or possible second entry short there. Who knows? Trouble is, the price is going up at the moment, so it's hard to go short there. Mind you, there's going to be some stops there and there, isn't there, for sure? Well, that's very tempting.
Order submitted.
It's a bit congested though, isn't it? Yeah, the bar's naff.
Order cancelled.
Tis a failure, and no doubt there's going to be some long stops there, possibly there. I've had a break, made 2 pushes up to a new high. We've come back and we've retested this underside, depending on how you've got it drawn. In fact, we got a leg up, 2 legs of correction, and it does look like another leg's pushing up here. So, very tempting that is. We're clearly working, aren't we, at the moment? But we just got to be careful here. Could just drop, couldn't it, and take out some longs. There's going to be some longs in there, probably there. Certainly there. If it does drop, it could just take all these out. I have a feeling this is just going to come down and take out these. Might be wrong though, because it is still working slowly up. It's one of these areas that it looks a bit trappy. It looks like it's trapping a few longs. We've got a leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go. If that does break down below there, I can see that coming down for a sort of a leg, and relatively quickly as well. Nice chat. Any trade? Yeah. Hey, Edward. Not yet, bud. Pretty stale day today. It's just been sideways, and obviously we've had a couple of bouts and news, and one a bit later to come. So not as yet, mate. It's just been quite bouncy, hasn't it? A little bit unpredictable. So not yet. I'm just looking at this here. As tempting as it looks like it's going to trap some longs there, it's only going to get above here, and then I think up it goes. Okay, I think it either had to push up strongly or drop down strongly. There was a higher low there. Trouble is, it's a little bit congested there, and when that one appears and comes back down. Okay, so I think we got a leg up, 2 legs of correction, and another leg up. Let's have a look. So there's our first leg, 2 legs of correction. So I would say probably expect going up to, I think that's Wednesday's, yeah, it's Wednesday's high there. It's just a little bit congested. There's a little bit of support there, see, so for me taking that high low is a bit risky. It does look like it, but it's one of those ones, it could tick above you and then drop and stop that out, and that one out, so you just don't know. So it's one of those areas where, because we've clearly sort of been ranging, and there's some tops there a few points away from taking it. It's just one of those, because we've been up here before, we've sort of, found an area, haven't we? You just don't know whether it's going to turn and come back down. But what I will say is, if it did break above that bar there, I think it was fair. We're going to get quite a push up. Equally, if it broke below there, I think we're going to get quite a drop down. But look at that, nice and strong. So if you fancy having a bit of a risk there, slightly more aggressive trade, it certainly paid off. You could pick up 2, 4, 6, 8 points pretty quickly. Relatively low risk as well. Excuse me, I think that one was. What was it? 2.25 maximum. Tick above, tick below. Or even maybe that one there. There's probably going to be some stops there. If you put it one tick above there, well, you was in and out of the trade pretty quickly. 6.5, the highs. How is it really? Don't like the way it's printing today. Scares me out of making a trade. Yeah, I think it's a good quality to have, that, mate. It shows you care about your accounts. Much better, I think, to be overcautious than careless, which is the way a lot of us start. You know what I mean? I'm getting a bit more like that. I get a bit nervous at taking trades. I try and give myself to a talking to at the end of the day. If I miss some, if I see them, I just need to get in and take them. But my first thought is that's a good trade. My second thought is what if it doesn't work and I lose the money? You know, it's good to have that, but I think you know sometimes you need to listen to that instinct. As you get more skilled at this, I'm assuming your instinct just gets better and your gut feeling. I do have an instinct now about staying out of trades, but not so much getting in trades. So it's one of those things, really, isn't it? But it definitely feels like it comes all the time, you know. Sometimes it just, you know, I get sometimes that I'm really in tune with the market, and other times it's, you know, it's not so clear. I traded evaluation and got a trade, and now I'm 26,596, 8th day. I passed the evaluation first time. I passed. So close. Well, good on you, mate. Good on you. I still remember the first. I think everyone remembers the first time they passed an evaluation. I remember mine. Where was it? It was it called something for you? What trades for you? You Profit. It was. Yeah, You Profit. Mine was. It's about a year and a half ago, somewhere about that. I remember telling my mum was still around at the time, passed away now, but I remember telling my mum, that's it now, I'm a trader. I thought I was going to make a shitload of money. It was very short-lived, I will say. I think that account lasted a couple of days, and I think that was pretty lucky, in all fairness. You bloom one day, yeah, we've all done that. Everybody does. It's part of it. It's sort of. I remember going onto the Facebook group and said I've lost £1,000 of my own money. Is it happened to anybody else? And you can imagine how many messages I had. Lads, I'm okay. I'm only up 0.0. No. What have I read it wrong? Trade evaluation. I got a trade now, and I'm at 26.5. On day 8, I passed the evaluation. First time I passed so close. Oh, he isn't sure if you passed. I got you. You start off. Your drawdown will start off at 25,000. So if you've made 26.5, you've hit it. The only slight issue you've got there, you've got 7 days. Sorry, I was going to say if you had another couple of days, you only got 96 cents to work with, which isn't a lot, but it's 7 days. Yeah, you've passed. Yeah, pretty sure you've passed. You're not up 96 cents or 9 cents, whatever that is. If you're on 26, yeah, you're on 26. No, surely not. You're on 26,500. You start off at 25,000, so you've got 1,500, and I'm assuming if you start at 25,000, you're on the 25,000 account, so you need to make $1,500 to pass. So yeah, no, I think you've passed that, mate. I think you've passed. You'll know anyway if you've passed your evaluation. You'll get a message later or early hours of the morning. saying congratulations, now give us some more money, basically. Well, we're still trying to push up, so I like the way we've come from the top and we've slowly come around and made momentum, and then we've just stopped and pushed up. So it'd be nice to get a higher low, but I think there's a fair chance we could go a bit higher here. It's your 5th PA and I passed. I will say, yeah, I think you're good, mate. I think you're good. When's the next news? 1900. That's 7 o'clock UK time, so I'll be done by then. We'll see. I'll start to come back. If I don't take a trade, I'll usually come back for another hour later because I keep forgetting, although it's, 7 o'clock UK time when the news comes out, it's only really 2 o'clock in the afternoon for you Eastern Standard Time guys. Okay, so we're clearly following there, aren't we? So we'll look at that. We had that little bit of a pullback and straight up, look at that. Wow, it's not often you see that. It pulled straight back and obviously there was buyers there, reversed quickly, so you don't see that so much anymore. It's usually a lot slower, but after that there was definitely some buy orders there, because as soon as they triggered, it shot up a couple of points. I wouldn't have taken that higher low anyway. It's just the body's too far away from the EMA. There's not much room to those highs. Although the market does look very strong and it's probably going to push up. But there's only 3/4 of a point to that high. It's just too risky, really. That's got to be further down here. Top step is a real mess. Instead of reaching 3,000 a pass, I now have to reach 4,600 because I had 2-4 winning day. Oh, I got you. Okay. That's not the end of the world, though, mate. At least you've got a nice cushion, and you built up a nice cushion. So it's sort of forcing you to play safe, isn't it? So, but you've only got to spread that out, haven't you? Unless you plan on having it for Christmas or something. Yeah, it's just one of those things, that, isn't it? But I think I'd rather have the $2,400 day and wait a bit longer, because at least your account's there now. By the time you can make some money, your account's going to be over 5,000 quite comfortable, isn't it? So you can afford to take something there and still have enough in there to keep that, to keep that cushion. So it's probably not a bad thing in a way, That's, there's a good side to that. Realise that profit from drawdown counted as profit drawdown. I'm not sure with Top Step. I know. See, I know with other companies, you have to keep a minimum in there. So if you withdraw, there has to be still $2,600 or whatever it is. But they don't do the Apex. They did try and change it at one point, but they had a bit of an outcry, so they dropped it. They did say at one point, it was maybe 6 months, 5-6 months back, that they brought a new rule out, and they said from now on you've got to keep $2,600 in there after you've withdrawn and there was a bit of an uproar. So they changed it. Bloody hell. What fair dues to you, Osam. So one contract, you're up $1,137 currently. I tell you what, mate, you're killing it. You really are. On one contract. Bloody hell. Good on you, mate. You're doing really well. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, good on you, mate. Okay, possible overshoot here. I'm not massively convinced it is. And we've hit that measured leg anyway. So leg up, 2 legs of correction and a leg up. I'm pleased it's done that. So many times lately it hasn't got nowhere near it. It's fizzled out, but every time in this channel here, we've pushed up to the top, we've come down, we've pushed up to the top, we've come down, and we've done it twice more. So it's a real strong market at the moment, I've got to say. You know, I'm guessing the news was definitely slightly on the positive side. As we know, they've strongly indicated there's going to be no more rate hikes. So that's good. There's probably a leg and a leg there, isn't there? So things are looking positive at the moment. I'm assuming the Nasdaq's doing equally as well. So there's probably a leg up there, another leg up. I'm assuming the Nasdaq's in keeping with this, isn't it? So this is looking really strong. So there's probably likely that we get a bigger channel as well, I'd say. Quite possibly. Let's look at the daily. So the daily, as we know, yeah, I thought as much. The daily, so we've had that, we've been in this range, haven't we? Now, have we stopped out that short? I think we have, or have we? Yes, we have, just by a tick. So we had this downtrend, didn't we? And then we had an overshoot, it pushed up, and there was a short right at the top of there, was right at the top of the uptrend, and it triggered, and then pushed up, and then we've been going a bit sideways, but we've been going down maybe once, twice, 3 times, and we got that quite nice bullish bar which goes from top to bottom, and it's pushed out strongly. So I believe it's just taken that out, isn't it? That top, or is it? Maybe not. Maybe just by a touch. So I think there's a good chance we're going to push up. So it is. Things are looking quite bullish at the moment. So my slight concern is taking something at the EMA that we come back to here, because every time we've come off the tops, excuse me, but I will say we had a straight drop there, a straight drop and a straight drop down. This is a drop, some sideways and a drop, so I don't think it's going to be too bad taking along there. I'd much prefer it there, but there is always the possibility it could come further, and there could be a bigger channel. We got a touch there, a touch there, a touch there, so there's always the possibility, but I think that's a bit premature looking at that. So let's just focus on this for now. So leg down, we've got to get a bit further though. Now I also have to accept that there could be a bit of an overshoot. Now it is only a slight overshoot, but I took a trade once and I couldn't understand why it failed, and everyone pointing to the overshoot, and it was as small as that. So it's hard to say really, isn't it? And in fact, in all fairness, if I put that, and like that, the overshoot's even a little bit more prominent, only by a touch. So there is a possibility of that overshoot. So I would be certain that that would be getting stopped out. But it is a very strong market, but I will be certain that that will be getting stopped out. Leg bit of sideways. There'll be bound to be some longs in there, but it's too risky that for me. I'd want to see 2 legs back or close to, which is down here somewhere. So that's going to get stopped out 100%. In fact, if it is an overshoot, it may not even have been a bad call to take a short there. But leg down, leg down. It's hard to know about that, see, because if it is an overshoot, it depends what traders treat it as. If it is an overshoot, it may push up and then drop down, or it may come straight down, and it may talk us out of taking a trade here. Sometimes I'll leave this and it'll go up, so you never quite know what's in the minds of other traders when they see that. So what I'll probably do is wait for a higher low. But unfortunately, sometimes you miss the best trades then, but there we go. I think you have to accept the fact that that could be an overshoot. Depends how you have this channel, in all fairness. If you have it as a bigger channel, yeah, it may not. Let's see if there's anything there. Yeah, see there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For me, it's that at the moment. Oh, absolutely. I don't think it's necessarily over yet. Okay, leg and a leg. At least we'll get a better indication now. So leg and a leg. So that's a visual 2 legs down. Let's see if this triggers. I'd like to give this a chance to trigger and trap. Let's see what happens. But I'll be pretty sure there'll be quite a few traders in there. Trouble is, it's 3.5 points with a tick above and tick below, so it's a little bit. It's not really something I want to get into, in all fairness, because I think I have to treat that, be a little bit cautious there. I was quite interested to see whether that would trigger. Yeah, I mean, it's very strong, isn't it? But that measured leg has played out. So in that case, if there is a bigger channel, it may come. So if you put that there and there, so we got a touch there, a touch there, a touch there. If you put that there, there's a good chance that it could break a bit lower than this and come down to here. But that's a bit pie in the sky at the minute. It's clearly getting a bit congested because I think there's a bit of caution here because of the 2 legs. Be nice to see that trigger and then see what happens. I mean, if that triggers, comes down and stops that out, that's an overshoot in my opinion. Doji may decrease the probability of it working. Yeah, let's see if it triggers. Okay, so it's triggered so far. Well, I'm certainly not taking it, and sometimes it'll just work because I've got to take caution that the fact that may be an overshoot. So if you see this, we've gone up, we've had a break, and that we've gone up really strong there and quickly, so that may just be an overshoot. We've pushed that bit higher to make that measured leg, so I don't like the way that's triggered and come back a bit, so I think that's a bit of a risk. So I'm staying out of it. I mean, it is 2 legs back, but there's definitely a bit of congestion here and here, so yeah, exactly. It may work, but I ain't taking it either, for sure. It's just too, well, even I mean, if it wasn't congested there, it certainly is now. And that's, like I say, it's 3.5 points with a tick and above, tick below, so it's just not worth it when it's looking like this. It may work. Sometimes they just work, but you have to just... there's nothing worse than having a red day on a Friday. I always like to be either at 0 or maybe just one trade. Yeah, that's coming down for me, I think. Okay, excuse me just for a second. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be a minute. Yeah, I think that's 50-50 that's going to work, isn't it? I think it's probably more likely to work. Yeah, it's quite a strong market, isn't it? Leg, first entry. Maybe as we get a higher low here. My your Fridays are always red. Thought about not trading for a while, but it seems to have broken the curse. Yeah, there's nothing worse than being red on a Friday. How you do Friday does often dictate how good your weekend is. It really doesn't it? Although it shouldn't do, but you can't help you can't help it really. So maybe it's good practice that if you take a loss, you just bin it for the day. Just go and have a drink. Just go and have a few beers and just get it out of your system. So we're going to trap some shorts here and then turn quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some more buyers coming here and it turns. And lo and behold, look. So there's two legs down there for a short, nice big bullish bar, and it's held. So I don't think that's a bad trade in all fairness to go long above there. It is a bit congested, but I've heard people say you can trade congestion as long as you know what's happening. So I don't think that's a bad trade. Actually, I'm quite confident that's going to go up, but I'm not taking it because it's my it's a little bit above my skill level or confidence level. Like I say, I don't want to. What I should do actually is just trade one of the accounts or something. Guaranteed Mac would have marked it. It's hard to say that one, and the frustrating thing is we never know on a Friday. But in all honesty, it is congested. And if you've got your channel like this, it hasn't come back, so it could still it could go a bit sideways. Let's have a look. Let's take that over there. See, in all fairness, it is risky, but it is very strong. So maybe that might, it's certainly aggressive. I think he may mark it as an aggressive trade. I don't know personally. It's not a high probability trade because it's clearly congested like that. It triple test. I don't think it is. To me, this is a first test. I don't know. I'm not convinced this is because this is just congestion, really. I said I think it's going to trigger maybe a short and push up, and it did. I have my ideas what it's going to do. And, I certainly get right more times than I don't. But it is just an educated guess. I'm not confident enough to get into a trade because I can't help but look at that as congestion. Now, if we're touching here, and I'm quite confident that channel looks okay to me and it's fitting nice, there is that bit of vacant area and it could trigger you. It could come and stop and it could drop out the bottom and close bullish there, and that will be a better option. So it is possible for that to still go wrong. So in all fairness, I think it's a riskier trade. Yeah, it is, but it's still, I'd say I wouldn't class that as a high probability trade. There's a little bit more risk to there because obviously it is clearly congested. And there is a possibility we could get another bar or two by the side, and sometimes it'll go to the side and then the stems will one here will work up, and that's when it tends to go and it tends to get a good entry. But I've had entries like that before which have triggered, stopped me out, and they've dropped bullish and rocketed up. So I mean, yeah, you certainly take into consideration that it is a strong trend, but it is still a bit more risky. But it's one of those things. Everyone has slightly different levels of risk. That one there, it's too far from the EMA for me. That is. But I get what you're saying. Now, what I will say is if this channel was like that, then that may be a different story because it's hugging that. And we've already pushed up made it. Yes, I just don't know. I'm not a massive fan of those because it could trigger, come down and retest this. It could do. I prefer my high. I mean, that's not a higher low to me. There's a channel up there. That's a break. That's gone too far for a higher low for me. So there's a channel there, isn't there? Yeah. And there's a break and a new high. So, higher low for me would be maybe something like that off this one. Obviously, it didn't trip below, but something like that. But when it's pushed up so far, like that has, and then come back, that's more of a break than a higher low. For me personally, anyway. It's gone too far for a high low. But like I say, John, everyone's got slightly different risk tolerances, have they? And we've all sort of got a limit. And I know sometimes I get close to my limit. But that for me was just a little bit too congestion with a little bit of vacant space here. So for me, it could have gone sideways a touch more. Also, we've got a leg down and sideways. We could have had a bit of a break. We could have had a drop out and then a push up. And so it's just one of those things, isn't it? I mean, it is a failure. But I like failures when they're trapping shorts, and I can't see anybody taking that short in all fairness because price is above the EMA. That bar there, if you took that as a lower high, has already been stopped out by that bar. So it's just a little bit too congested for me, but a little bit further this way. I like it when it does this. It goes sideways, and then we get another bar, and each bar goes that little bit higher. And I look for something there just before we push. So it was just a little bit more risky there. So on a Friday, I tend to get extra cautious. No one wants to have a red Friday, do they, if they can help it? So, I mean, at the end of the day, I tend to now get a feel for a trade. I tend to either know I want to take it or something doesn't feel right, and I tend to listen to my gut feeling. And yeah, sometimes it goes and makes the points, but I got no problem with watching a trade go by. I've sort of learnt the hard way. Sometimes you're better off if you're not sure. But I can't help seeing that as congestion just at the moment. So we've got a leg down side. We could just have another little leg. We could get a leg down here, or we could get a break. So it's not as clear cut, that one, for me personally anyway. I'm a bit of a coward sometimes. I have gone sometimes from being careless to being a bit overcautious, but I'm all right with that. I figure I'll sort of find some balance at some point, but I think it's certainly better to be a little bit more cautious than a bit too careless. So possibly leg. So unlikely an overshoot then. So I have a feeling we're going to have a break here. Every time we've come off this bottom, we've pushed right to the top, right to the top, right to the top, right to the top. We've only got sort of 2/3 of the way, and we've come back, bounced off this, and we've only come so far. So for me, may get a bit of a break here. So, why have I done that? Oh, I was just looking from yesterday. Leg up. What time is it? Oh, we're okay. Okay, let's see if we get this break. I think we're going to get. So, what I'd like to see now is it bounce off somewhere. That's as good as any. I think it's probably going to be a bit lower than that. Maybe there. I think that's probably a natural place that there's some, maybe a bounce, 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3 bounce, and then off again maybe. I think it's quite likely it's going to be there. Obviously there's some support there.
Order submitted.
The fuck did I do there? Oh my Christ. I bloody hell.
Order cancelled.
I went to stop that line and ended up hitting buy limit. Bloody hell, Christ, I was lucky. What did I buy? Buy ask or buy bid? Christ, I don't know what happened there. Bloody hell, that was lucky. I think I might need a fresh change of underwear there. Oh my good grief. I think I need one of these. Ooh. God, that was lucky. I was flipping lucky to get out of that. I think I need a stretch and a shake. Yeah, I took that line up there and clicked it to end it. Clicked it to end it and ended up hitting buy. Was it buy ask or buy bid? It dropped a buy order and then bloody I was lucky. Like Floor, you like that, do you? That's my little winning thing for December, that is. I just felt like I needed a shake after that. It shook me up, that one. Quite glad there. It was a buy limit order it dropped in. Now, what it is, see this here? I had this and I took this up here. I had it locked. And obviously, as I clicked it to get off it, I had it up here. I obviously clicked one of the... It wasn't buy market because it put a limit order in it. It must have been buy bid or buy ask I hit. Because it dropped the order in, but it never triggered it. Thank God for that. Because I could have been in... It's nothing worse than making a mistake. Okay, so I'm not sure about that anyway. Okay, so... yeah, it's bounced where I thought it might do. It was a natural place for it to bounce there. You can clearly see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches there. So hopefully, maybe you get another bounce or two and then push higher. But I think there's a good chance of getting higher. Just got to wait for a good enough setup. God, that could have been a disaster there. So it seems that trade after that leg wasn't that bad, actually. And in fairness, I may have taken that if it wasn't for the fact that I thought there may be an overshoot, because it was 2 perfect legs back. And they're usually quite reliable. I mean, we obviously dropped below there and pushed up quite strongly. And it obviously worked. It went a bit sideways and up a bit, but then clearly worked. So I don't think it was a bad trade, that. The only thing that kept that at me was the possibility of an overshoot. Last thing you want to do is have 2 legs down. It triggers you there and then comes down here. I mean, this is a very strong market. I didn't expect that to push up so strongly. It's not often lately, as soon as we get a break out of a channel, we make a new high almost straight away. We usually mess around for a bit. I'm not saying we are yet, but that's pretty convincingly strong. I wouldn't have expected that. I thought maybe up and down a bit. But it's a very strong market, isn't it? And the frustrating thing is you only realise it's a strong market when it's pushed up that far. And it's down here, really, where you wanted to get into it. But you never quite know what you're going to get, do you? You know. Okay, so new high for possibly a second entry long. I'm staying out of this just at the minute, because if that is an overshoot, it can do that, come down, make a new high, and then reverse. Call me paranoid, but that's what happens when you're married. So leg. I mean, it could go up. Who knows? I'd like to see it go up a little bit. You done, are you, Kev? Yeah, you have a good weekend too, bud. See you Monday. Where's the new high? No, what I mean is, sorry, a new count. I'm recounting from here. So I'm restarting the count there. So that's the first entry. So it could be basically, what I mean is a second entry long from here. I'm recounting before I'm going possible second entry long to the new highs. Yeah, I wasn't saying new high after the break. I was just recounting. So high, first entry, possible second entry long. But I'm not getting involved here. It hasn't ticked below that short. And my experience lately is when we have a break from a channel, we do something like that and eventually work up. We don't often break straight away and then push up strong. We used to. We don't lately. We usually have like maybe a correction and then push up, or it'll go sideways for a bit and then work up. There we had a break out of it, a correction, and then work straight up. So after correction, it's not usually too bad. So I'd like to see another leg down here, really. And then another bounce. So you may sort of call that first entry, second entry, triple test. But I don't want to just get in here because I think that's a mistake. But it is a strong market, so you never quite know. But it's not for me, that. It's sitting under that, it's sitting under that midline for a starter. So I'd like to see that come down here, one leg, two leg, before I think about going long. That to me looks like it's sucking in traders. Come on, follow me, look. I'm going, I am. You're going to miss out. And then all of a sudden, out it drops. Old top pick video of live trades. I like it. I like them, actually. It's always a quick break with the... Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Yeah, it does. It's true. How many times do we not see now a trend coming down like this? Two nice clear legs up and then a beautiful second entry short and down. We just don't get it. Half the time it breaks now and it messes around and then goes sideways before it makes a new low, and you haven't got a setup, or it just reverses. Yeah, we just don't see that anymore. We don't see a straightforward break and a retest. It may do it here because it's quite a strong market, but yeah, I like them actually. Is it Taylor you watch? I like Taylor. I like Taylor, yeah, but usually we'll do this, won't we, and then start to go sideways and eventually go up without a setup. It's almost as if they've changed the algorithms to make things even harder. Do they do that? I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, I like Taylor. He's all right, actually. He's a good trader. He doesn't do as many videos as he used to. He used to do one a week, but he doesn't lately. I wish he would. I may message him, actually. But what I will say is markets have been tough lately. Setups aren't as readily available as they were maybe a year or so ago. Is he ever in the Facebook group? I don't think so. I don't think I've seen him there, but I'm not sure. He doesn't ring any bells. But I do like him as a trader, and I like the fact he doesn't always stick to 2 points. He goes between 2 and 4. If he thinks it'll go, you know, if we've got a break and he's taking an entry and there's 5 or 6 points to the highs, he'll take 4 points. I like that. I like to judge each trade on its merit or what I think I'm going to go for. So it does seem like that may work, but it is very strong, isn't it? Yeah, you don't often say that. We're not there yet, but we may be. Now, so many times in the past on evaluations, I've jumped in here thinking we're going to smash through that, and it says, yeah, we've actually matched the high there, so I'll be surprised if it doesn't. But there'll be some stops there, I would have said. There and there. Maybe not as many as I thought, unless they're a bit further up. Okay, so clear channel up break. 2 pushes up to a new high. Now what's going to happen? Is this going to come into play at all? Or are we beyond that? I think we're beyond that, aren't we? Oh, I know you are. Yeah, I see you on there. I see you on the Facebook group all the time. Yeah, I know you are now. That's the trouble. Sometimes we have different names here and different names there. I've been looking in the Discord trying to recognise some names, and they're quite different. And occasionally someone says, "Oh, it's me." Yeah, how you doing, bud? How you doing? Yeah, I know you are. Do you know I used to post all the time? I've been trading Pats now a little over 2.5 years, and I used to post charts all the time. But lately, I've just found you get a load of crap all the time. I think sometimes people just start picking holes in. You know what I mean? Sometimes if I put a post, inquire about this or that, sometimes you just get just negative stuff, and I don't know. I stopped doing it as much as I used to. I know there was a few people talking about having a second 2000 tick chart with a slight different change in theory, being that maybe, if it doesn't trigger one tick for a trade, it may on the other chart. And I just put something a week or so ago, a couple of weeks about it. Has anybody done it or blah, blah, blah? And you get people saying, well, if you can't trade this chart, you shouldn't be trading it. It's just an inquiry, Post trade, yeah. See, for the first year and a half, I posted my chart every day and I asked for feedback. And then obviously you learn more and more and more, and you ask less and less questions, I suppose. But there are people I still talk to. But yeah, I just put something about a second chart. I was just inquiring because someone had mentioned it, and you get people saying, well, if you can't trade one chart, you shouldn't be. There's no need for it. So it just, I don't know. Sometimes. It's an emotional business anyway, isn't it? And when some people just... That's why I stopped the comments on here. I started getting that Money Max guy just making me life miserable. So I saw that. Yeah, just... I don't know why some people just want to pick holes, and it fries my head sometimes. And you know what it's like? It's like being married at home and married at work, isn't it? You can't seem to escape it, can you? But I don't take things too seriously. I don't get offended. You can say whatever you want, but some people just niggle you. But that Money Max, Christ, he spooked me for months. He did. Started asking me for money, and if I didn't want to accept his help, I didn't deserve it, and all. You know what I mean? All this sort of weird stuff. Failed second entry short trap. Doesn't seem to want to stop, does it? Where are you from anyway, bud? Where are you from? To Silas, isn't it? To Silas? Yeah. Where are you from? Yeah. Are you US, are you? You probably are. I think most of you guys are there, aren't you? If you are, let's hope it's warmer than where I am at the moment. What is it? It's -1 outside at the moment, and it's, what time is it? Just after 5:30 in the evening. It's been flipping freezing the last couple of days. Target fill. You took one, did you? What did you take off the trend channel? What did you take? Second elf. What did you take? Second entry long failure, was it? It looks like second elf. 1 point long. Well, point to point, mate. Points a point. Just wasn't short here. For some reason lately, I'm surprised it's pushed up that quick after a break. And you tend to get a bit paranoid then. You think, I can't enter this. It's going to make someone's life miserable. And it pushed up. wonder if we're finding another angle. Not sure about that. Just completed the two-day measured move. Yes. Now, Mac doesn't talk about this, but I actually, how can you argue with that? It's quite clear. At the end of the day, if you were trading the 4 hourly or the hourly, you wouldn't be going back a day, would you? You'd be going back a few days at least. So how can you deny that? Leg up there, we've pushed back here. Basically, we've pushed up again. We've retested it once, had one more go, and off it trots. So you can't argue that, can you? So I'm going to pay a bit more attention. In all fairness, I have had the 10,000 tick chart up here for a while. And with the exception of this afternoon, it has been just going sideways, really, isn't it? Let's have a look. Sideways. We had that break and we pushed back in, and I thought when we had that, it was another retest and we were going to come down. But like you say, yesterday, leg up, break new high, one attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower, and another push up. So yeah, that was sort of almost like a penguin style trade, that one. We got a leg up, one attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower, and off we go. It's definitely not as many trades around as there used to be. Whether it's me or what, I don't know. What time have we got? How long have we been trading? 3 hours and 10 minutes. So I do wonder now we've pushed up whether we continue up or not. Whether there's this, it's quite likely going to be a bigger channel there. So I'm just going to take it from there to here and see where it takes us. So that might be there actually. Let's just kill that off the colour a minute. Gotta go as well. Yeah, you too, buddy. You too. Okay, that may just be like a spike in a channel from here. So we touched here, touched here. Let's bring that out a bit. Touch, touch, touch. In fact, let's get rid of it. And that. So that actually visually looks okay to me. I'm quite alright with that. So a couple of legs down maybe. I don't know. Am I pushing my luck now? Wait for another entry. We've got some more news, haven't we, later? What time is it? In fact, I think what I'm going to do is go and have me dinner and come back in about an hour. I've been doing that the odd evening if I haven't got a trade, because sometimes in the evening, or late afternoon for a lot of you guys, you get you might get, sometimes I'll look at the chart after and think, oh, we had a couple of setups. So after that, be interested to see what happens with that news. News at 7 o'clock UK time, so it's about an hour and 20 minutes. So yeah, I'm probably going to do that actually. So yeah, I'm going to knock on the head for now. I'll start another stream up. I prefer to stream, it just keeps me on the straight and narrow. So I'll come back at around about 6:45. About 7:45, 7 o'clock. Just leading up to the news anyway. So I appreciate all the comments, guys. If you're carrying on trading, best of luck. I hope you get some setups. There's not been a huge amount, but there's trouble is I did look at that one, but you just never know, do you? It's not what I would call a great looking setup. But there you go. So that's it. I'm going to knock it on the head for an hour. I'll come back just prior to the Pal's next talk, which is around about an hour and 20 minutes. So around about an hour I'll come out, something like that. So I appreciate your comments. Best of luck, and we'll talk soon.